Good day to all of you who have joined for this lesson, and we thank the Lord Almighty for His sufficient grace upon our lives. So, today we are going to talk about B.F. Skinner theory of operant conditioning. Have you ever noticed that when a child is praised for doing something good, they are likely to do it again? This simple idea is the foundation of B.F. Skinner's theory of operant conditioning. He believed that learning takes place when behavior is shaped by its consequences. Who was B.F. Skinner? B.F. Skinner, he was an American psychologist, and his full name was Barhaz Frederick Skinner, and he was born in the year 1904 and later died in the year 1990. And he was famous for behavioralism, and he is the one who introduced operant conditioning, which we are going to talk about here. And Skinner believed that behavior is learned from the environment, and he suggested that a child imitates the language of its parents or its carers. So what is operant conditioning? Operant conditioning, it is a learning process where behavior is influenced by rewards and punishments. So Skinners and the researchers, they observed that rats and birds could be taught to perform various activities by encouraging habit forming. So good behavior was repeated, bad behavior was reduced. For example, a child or a pupil is praised for answering correctly, will that the child will answer more often, right? That is in class or in at home. When you have a small kid, let's say a child who has not begun to talk, right? Then the child will be like mama, baba. You will be like, you will clap for that child, you will even give a sweet, you'll just clap, and the child will continue saying the name, right? This is what we are going to talk about, the operant conditioning. This is the core, this is the key component, the key thing of all of this theory. So what is reinforcement? Reinforcement, I want you guys to understand this very clearly. Reinforcement, it means anything that increases a behavior. Anything that increases a behavior. So there is positive reinforcement and there is negative reinforcement. So positive, it's giving something pleasant. Giving something pleasant. For example, a teacher giving a star for good work, a parent giving an ice cream for good work, a parent giving maybe a time to watch TV for finishing chores, right? There is now positive reinforcement. Then there is negative reinforcement, removing something unpleasant. So for example, homework is reduced after a good behavior, or chores are reduced at home after a good behavior. Chores are reduced at home after completing what you did, or you were given. So this is removing something unpleasant. I used the chores and the homework because most of the pupils, obviously they are not so much into homework or in chores. So now that is reinforcement, anything that increases a behavior. Then we have punishment. Punishment is anything that decreases unwanted behavior. So it decreases unwanted behavior. There is also positive punishment and negative punishment. I want you to understand so that you can understand the positive and the negative from the reinforcement and the punishment. So the positive punishment, it is adding something unpleasant. Example, now you give extra chores for coming late at home, you give extra chores for not attending the assignments in class, or something like that. Then we have the negative punishment, that is taking away something pleasant. For example, no playtime after misbehavior, right? Or at home, no phone, no screen time after bad behavior. Now that is the negative punishment. You are taking away something pleasant, something that this person loves. Or for example, you always have fun time at home, where you go out for ice creams, when you go out as outing, but because of bad behavior, you remove that pleasant thing, that going outing. Now that is punishment. I hope you have now understood reinforcement and punishment, and the positive and the negative. Skinner used an experiment called the Skinner box, or it was also called an operant conditioning chamber. This proved that behavior can be shaped through consequences. This Skinner box, it is a special box used in experiments to study how behavior is learned through rewards and punishments. Inside the box, there was always a lever or a button, a food dispenser, something as light or a sound, and something mild, something sometimes a mild and pleasant stimulus. For example, a rat is placed inside the box. I want you people to imagine a rat inside a box, and when it presses the lever or the button, when it presses it, food is given, right? So obviously you'll wonder, even this rat, if you can imagine the situation of the rat, if it presses, food is given. After repeating it several times, the rat learns that pressing the lever is equals to food. Sasa, I'm sorry. So the rat will understand that anytime I press this, food is given. So it keeps pressing the lever so that it can get the food. So this shows that behavior is strengthened by reward, which is called now the positive reinforcement. We talked about the positive reinforcement, right? So the Skinner box, it is an experimental chamber which was used by BF to demonstrate how behavior can be shaped through reinforcements and punishments. Let's give a simple classroom example, right? For example, a learner or a student answers a question correctly and the teacher gives praise to the child, right? To the student. The learner becomes more and likely to answer again. This works the same way as the Skinner box experiment. So what do we learn from here? It is good, obviously. When you're in class, you will always have that student who you're the teacher who always gives gifts in class, then you ask a question, then the student answers it. Then the student will know that if I answer again, I'll get another sweet. So that is now positive reinforcement. So what is the application of B.F. Skinner in education? Skinner's theory is widely used in classrooms, for example, giving rewards, praises, tokens, grades, stickers, class points. This encourages learners to repeat good behavior. And what are the strengths? It's easy to apply in schools, very easy. Encourages discipline, improves learning, and helps to modify behavior. The weaknesses: too much focus on rewards, may ignore emotions and thinking. Learners may depend on rewards. So now this is where the weaknesses come. So like the student will always, even me, there's a time there's a music lesson, like I was trying to be as a musician, no, like I wanted to learn music, but now my voice, I was like, I really can't sing. Then this teacher said from nowhere that whoever is going to understand these notes and say them, the do re mi, I will give 2,000 shillings. So my interest was not on singing because I wanted, but because I heard of the reward, I said I would try. Now that is a weakness. People rely so much on the reward. That was a weakness. So in conclusion, B.F. Skinner's theory teaches that behavior is learned through consequences. Reward strengthens behavior while punishments reduces it. This theory is important in education and in child development. Even as parents, this is important. But don't always, if you're a child and you have a child and you're trying to shape the child, don't let the child rely so much on rewards, right? This would even affect the emotions of we have talked to. Otherwise, I believe that we have had a better understanding. Please share and like the video, and we will have more and more as we continue. Thank you and have a blessed time. May God bless you.